I was also a pastor's wife in a cult. They're going to be like, how is that possible? How can you be a leader and be trapped? Well, I think that leaders get really trapped. But when I say that I directed my ex-husband, I don't mean that I directed everything he did. I mean, when it came to the sermons, he didn't know how to, he didn't really like know how to deliver a sermon or how to write one. And so I didn't realize I was doing it though. And so that sounds so confusing. Like, it's taken me a long time to realize this. No, it's not just that. It's like, even because I would even work with him in the car when we are on car rides. So the kids grew up with it. Like my son, he actually, I don't think about it much. And the other day we were like, well, I guess I think about it a lot, but I feel like parts of me try not to, or I don't know how to go into it, but I mean, when it comes to sermons, like how to act, because I have a directing streak when it comes to like entertainment. And it's part of my dysfunction because the cult that I was part of is like an entertainment cult. So like Hollywood, but without like being on TV. So like, say like the way we would do things is we wouldn't just like witness to people, we would talent scout. Okay, everybody has a talent and every single person is a performer on some level. They just don't know it yet. And so what we would do, we were not the normal, we're not the normal Christian church. Okay, so the part that made us culty, that probably got CBS News and Geraldo Rivera giving the old coverage, I didn't know about it though, because I didn't really, you're not going to believe me, like I didn't know how to surf the net. Like I didn't know a lot of stuff, but I was really good at bringing people into the church and directing them from an entertainment standpoint. Like, so not from a how to direct your life. Do not ask me how to direct your finances or what underwear to buy. No, I mean literally our church would put on skits and I was good at directing people in a play or in like maybe like in an area of entertainment. I am really good at directing people. So when I said in my previous video that I directed my ex-husband when I was in a cult, I didn't direct his behavior. He did like his own shit, but he couldn't. The thing that was weird about it was that, have you ever watched those movies where there's the guy, I know I'm like, I have to tell him that, where there's the guy who's like trying to win somebody, like a girl up in a tower, and then he doesn't know how to sing or play the guitar or how to say fancy words to the girl. So he's like, hey, I know that you can though, so can you teach me? And so when my ex-husband and I got together in a cult, it was like, he was like, basically, I want to be an evangelist. I want to be an evangelist. And I was a female and I couldn't go like do it on my own, except for when we would street preach. So like, meaning my ability was limited, and he was like, basically like, go ahead and train me. But the problem is that I was pretty disassociative when I trained him. And so I would train him, like, I didn't even, like, I don't, the other day I was in the car, my 25-year-old kid was like, you, like, wrote 80% of his sermons. Like, you would tell him how to tell the joke or how to, like, and then I was like, oh my God, yes, I know that. My second husband, I remember I helped him write some stuff that he won money for, and watched the audience give him a standing ovation and weep tears. And I was in the audience with everybody else, and I was like, it worked just as I thought it would. I was like, but I was really out of it. So I was like, kind of like ghosting. So like, what was really funny, not that I was ghosting, but like ghost writing kind of, through my ex-husband, and I didn't like consciously think about it. And, no, because I just didn't. And so, not for a long time. I do now. Now I can, but it's pretty like insane to think about, quite frankly. It's pretty insane. Gosh, wow. But I was also really good at getting people in the church, like knocking on doors and just randomly like Because I would just feel like it's probably because I have DSET or something, and I was like, "Hi, everybody, we already know each other," and a bunch of people were like, "Yeah, sure, okay," and so. Well, it is important because I'm gonna outlive all of you, and you should know before you go. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. Woo! Anyways, I didn't get angry like, oh, the people don't know it was me who wrote it. Like, I didn't think that for a second. What I did, so my second ex-husband, the way he won money, and people were crying. The fact that people stood up and cried is even more touching. And clapped and cried. What I did is he needed to write something for college for his, like, it was like, you know how you write that, like, there's final papers and stuff, but there was also one where it was like all these other people were open to it too, and the person who got it was gonna like win some bucks. It was like $500 or something. It wasn't anything that crazy. And so he goes, I was like, all right. I was still pretty dissociative. I wasn't really thinking like, oh, you wrote all those sermons for your ex-husband. I wasn't putting two and two together. I just got excited about it. And I was like, oh, let me do it. I'll bet you I can win the money for you. Just watch. And so he was like, okay. And because he was super busy with finals. So I was like, okay, just hand it over to me. And then so what I did is I sat down with some coffee. I was like, here. As we're drinking our coffee, I started asking him questions. I was like, tell me about this. Tell me about this. Tell me about this. Because he was a paramedic at the time. And he was trying to be a psychologist. So he's trying to get his degree in psychiatry. And he was already like a paramedic. And so I was like, start telling me stories about stuff that goes on at the hospital. And I started picking through his stories. And then I was like, all right, on that one, tell me this, tell me this, tell me this, tell me this. So I picked his brain all the way through till I had created a story so that like what I was going to write, if anybody asked him any questions about it ever in the course of his entire lifetime, it would never trigger like red alert, he didn't write this. So that's the first thing. Then, and it was a real story that really happened in his life. Right? It was absolutely taken from stuff that really happened. I can tell you guys this story if you want. I remember about it to tell you the story if you want to hear it. There was an elderly gentleman who came in the ER and he had gangrene on his foot. But nobody knew. He'd come from a local nursing home and he was crying. There was something going on, and the thing was nobody knew that it was because he had something wrong with his foot. He was profoundly disabled or something. And the story goes on and the nurses coming in and out, but basically it took one of the nurses going in there and taking his socks off, and it turned out that the guy had been there's a whole story. This dude was 80 years old living in a nursing home and had just had this gangrenous foot that had been overlooked by everybody. He ended up living, but there's a whole story that if I did the long version of it made the audience cry. They were crying tears. I didn't feel oh, they think he wrote it, not me. That didn't even fucking occur to me at the time. I was just oh, look at that, man. That was fucking that worked. I knew it. I was trying to calculate their emotional. Okay, I'm very scientific, so I didn't just enjoy writing it, but I was also trying to calculate the emotional response of the audience. And whatever, you be all holier than thou if you want.